Hello, welcome to AM Whiskey Reviews. I am your host, Ben Rosenthal, back with you again. Today we are reviewing a vodka called Aloo vodka, and it is made in Seattle. Lately I'm getting my vodka from Seattle and my grunge from the former Soviet Union. It's a great thing to drink when you're listening to grunge, and you're hanging out with guys in flannel shirts. You're in Vladivostok, and you got your grunge, your Russian grunge, and you got your Seattle vodka. Um, yeah, I don't know about this stuff. I poured a glass of it. It's waiting for me. I just thought I would give you an update. Some viewers wrote in the comments that they wondered as to the whereabouts of Ronnie Kurtenbach. Why no mention of Ronnie? Interesting thing with Ronnie. Um, my other friend Wojtek, who occupies a bench in Father Papayusko Square. Well, Wojtek and Ronnie are friends, and Wojtek made a bet with Ronnie. I forget exactly what the bet was over, but if Ronnie lost the bet, he would have to go and ring every doorbell in the neighborhood as part of his Megan's Law, his redress for a crime of sexual misconduct with people who were under the age of consent. Now, Ronnie was not guilty of this crime, and that was the genius part of the bet, according to Wojtek, is that in fact Ronnie is on no such list. He's never gone near anybody. So this was quite a bet to have to follow through on. But Ronnie was never one to welch on a bet, and he followed through, and he rang those doorbells, and he introduced himself. He said, "My name is Ronald Kurtenbach, and I'm new to the neighborhood, and I'm on like and uh, what's interesting about this is that is there actually a statute? Is there a law against impersonating a sex offender? Can one be arrested for impersonating a sex offender? This has been a legal question. I mean, legal eagles have been asking this question for years, for one, along with why would one want to? But if one did want to or had to, could you be arrested for simply claiming to be a registered sex offender? And Ronnie, obviously not a registered sex offender, but very convincing and seemed to bear all the earmarks of one. Nobody seemed to doubt it. And I think that's one of the things that Ronnie unfortunately was able to pocket from this whole rigmarole, was that indeed uh, nobody was surprised. In fact, many seemed to say that as soon as they saw him standing at the door, they knew exactly what he was there to say. This came as a great disappointment to Ronnie. In fact, at one point he had rung the doorbell and somebody yelled out the window, "I don't talk to sex offenders." And Ronnie had had no previous communication with this person. So at a certain point, it almost became moot. I mean, win or lose the bet, he's lost. I mean, uh, um, you know, it's not necessarily how one wants to uh, live out their days as a person who is easily confused with a sex offender. And so Ronnie followed through on the bet, and he was arrested for harassment. So it turns out that actually someone pretending to be a sex offender can face at least as much legal as many legal ramifications as a person who actually um, went for it. So that's, yeah, that's Ronnie's story. The other thing is that Ronnie got out of jail. Uh, he did get out. He pled the case. He was home free, and he went back to his attic, and he had a portable electronic range because that's what he cooks on. That's his, that's his kitchen, and it was a portable electronic range. He left it on. There was no sensor to automatically. There was no like kill switch on the coils, and he fell asleep in the middle of cooking, and tumbled off the used army cot that he's been sleeping on, because the air mattress was punctured. He happened to be able to get an army cot, and he fell on the coils and burnt a perfect, almost like an archer's wheel, into his sternum, which is oddly kind of larval and hairless. I don't. Nobody can explain why Ronnie has no hair on his chest. But Wojtek has too much. Ronnie has none enough. And so there's this sort of archer's wheel, and Wojtek went over to check on Ronnie. He got there and almost immediately became hypnotized by the perfect electronic range whorls branded into Ronnie's sternum. So Ronnie was asleep, never woke up to even know that Wojtek was there. Wojtek became hypnotized by the rings in Ronnie's chest. He passed out. And then, of course, um, you know, as will happen with electronics, with ovens that are left on in places made entirely of wood, there is potential for massive conflagration, and that indeed happened, and that was what woke both of them up. But Wojtek is now suing Ronnie for bearing that sort of hypnotic archer's wheel in his chest. Ronnie was going to sue the makers of the electronic range that was thrown out as frivolous. Wojtek's suit actually may have some, it may in fact be viable. We don't know. In any case, that's the story with my friends, my friends. Uh, so here's Aloo vodka. Uh, to Wojtek and Ronnie, may you patch up your differences. Love can build a bridge. I believe that was the Judds who said that. One of those Judds is dead now. So the Love's Bridge is, you know, evidently somewhat rusty. Um, but let's try this vodka, uh, Seattle vodka. Not bad. Yeah, I mean they're capable people over in Seattle. They know what they're doing there. This is a really good vodka to have if, say, you're toasting a successful act of eco-terrorism. Say you were in Yakima, Washington, and you had placed a metal spike in a tree. They were using a sort of Husqvarna gas-powered saw to bring the tree down, and the metal spike that you planted in the tree snapped the chain, and the chain went right into the logger's carotid artery, and oh my God, he was bleeding out. Somebody came and they compressed it. He's okay. I mean, you are facing attempted murder charges potentially if they find you, but you know that you made your point. Well, this is the vodka for you. It's in from Seattle. It's homegrown. I don't think that any trees were killed in the production of this, But yeah, you're a guy in a flannel shirt, and you kind of sing in that, like, you sound like Cher when you sing the music. You just like, you're into this, to this very earnest, humorless kind of rock. But yeah, you've got your flannel. You look like a logger. They would think you were a logger. In fact, you're even more loggerish than most loggers are. But in fact, you hate loggers. And every day you come up and you put a spike in a tree, and some guys, is like, Brent, I'm gonna fire her up. And then, like, all hell breaks loose, and you're just like, yes, through the woods. You made your point to that Yakima, Washington logger guy. And this is going to be the vodka for you. And you just toast it, and you mm, yeah, and then you go home and you kill yourself like everybody else in Seattle. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what they do. I have no desire to go to Seattle. It rains a lot. Like, why would you choose to live in a place where it rains a lot? I don't understand it at all. But that's sort of where we are with this drink. It's gluten free, which I imagine that Seattle's motto as you enter the city is "Welcome to Seattle, gluten free." That's probably what they say. I mean, anything can be gluten free. A gun is gluten free. Gluten is not, it doesn't turn up in that many places, does it? I mean, maybe I'm wrong about that, but so yeah, Seattle vodka. Yeah, that's it. So I'm glad I was able to fill you in, to give you the breakdown on the Ronnie Wojtek, uh, uh, not kerfuffle, but the static that persists between those two very, very good men. In any case, I will see you next time. Thank you very much for joining me. Over and out.